Consciousness, I tend to believe that consciousness will be a mystery.
Remain a mystery?
Yes, that's what I tend to believe.
Forever?
That's what I tend to believe. I tend to think that the workings of the conscious brain will be elucidated to a large extent. So I tend to believe that biologists and perhaps physicists contributing will understand much better how the brain works. But why something that we call consciousness goes with those workings, I think will remain mysterious. Perhaps I'm mistaken. I'll have a much easier time imagining how we'd understand the Big Bang, even though we can't do it yet, than I can imagine understanding consciousness.
Understanding superstring is easy compared to understanding how your brains are working, developing.
When you say understanding how the brain is working, I think understanding the functioning of the brain is a very exciting problem on which there probably will be a lot of progress in the next few decades. That's not out of reach. But I think there's probably a level of mystery that will remain about why the brain, whose functionings we can see, creates consciousness, or whatever you want to call it, how it functions in the way that a conscious being functions will become clearer. But what it is we're experiencing when we experience consciousness, I see as remaining a mystery.
Or you want it to remain a mystery?
Well, I don't think my wants and miswants have much to do with it. I can't conceive of it not remaining a mystery unless there's some modification of the laws of physics that's relevant to understanding the functioning of the brain. And I think that's very unlikely.
Would you define consciousness as sheer beauty, the working of it?
No, I'm not going to attempt to define consciousness in a way that's connected with the fact that I don't believe it will become part of physics. I think I won't try to say anything about it. I'll leave it as an undefined term, like the undefined terms at the beginning of a math book.
Yeah. Yeah, want to talk about it? No, not about consciousness. Huh?
Well, like I say, I'm skeptical that it's going to become part of physics.
Yeah.
Yet, of course, whatever you think about consciousness, it's an important part of us and of how we perceive anything, including physics. And that has to do, I think, with the mysteries that bother a lot of people about quantum mechanics and its applications to the universe. So, quantum mechanics kind of has an all-embracing property that, to completely make sense, it has to be applied to everything in sight, including ultimately the observer. But trying to apply quantum mechanics to ourselves makes us extremely uncomfortable, especially because of our consciousness, which seems to clash with that idea. So, we're left with a disquiet concerning quantum mechanics and its applications to the universe. And I do not believe that that disquiet will go away. If anything, I suspect that it will acquire new dimensions, new aspects. Again, this is a point on which I don't agree with all physicists by any means. Roger Penrose is one of the most distinguished physicists who believes that there will eventually be some modification or reinterpretation of quantum mechanics. I think he's a modification, which will have something new to say about consciousness, and in the context of which some of our disquiet would go away. I can't speak for him precisely. But I think that I don't think that'll happen personally.